Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. And I mean, today's report is not too bad for starting the live stream, other than I lost my sound while that song was playing, but we are back now and I can hear everything, which is good. So hello, thank you for joining me tonight. Let's have a look in that live chat room, see who's in the house. We have Terry, Corey, Carl, Laurie, Deborah, Frank, Mark, Annika, Diane, Mary, Billy, Ro, Bob's in there as well, and Tammy going through, Joy, Billy, Linda, Darlene, hello, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Now, my desk is in a bit of a mess tonight, but with good reason, because I have received and just before the live stream, I received the package that was sent to me from the USA, from where they filmed the Goonies, and Jim let me know that he was going to send me some stuff because Jim owns a jewellery store and they were making some Goonies themed things. I'm not an expert in jewellery, but they were making some things themed because they made some things for the actors when they were filming the Goonies, and I think it's 35 years ago that I should actually just look at these things and it will say on there somewhere that it was however many years ago, I think 35. So yeah, Jim let me know that he was going to send me something, and that has now arrived, but it didn't arrive without incident, because once it arrived in the UK, then Jim let me know that unfortunately it got stuck at customs, or they couldn't deliver it to the address that was on the package. So unfortunately I've been really busy recently, which is kind of unfortunate but fortunate at the same time, because of having so many people watch the videos and subscribing, which is great, but it meant that I couldn't chase up where this package was in the UK. So it's something that my dad took on, because he asked about the package, and I said, oh, there's been a problem with it, and he took the number, and I think it's like a tracking number that then he found out, he found out that it still existed, the package, but then he had to try and find where it was. And he did eventually find where it was and reorganize things to then get it delivered. So it did make it here eventually, which is great. So a big thank you to Jim for sending it my way. And maybe we'll have a bit of a, I don't know, show and tell thing. I think that's something that they say over in the USA. We don't really do it that much here in the UK, but when you go to school and you take something in and you show this particular thing to the class and explain what it was about, or the story behind the thing that you're showing, I think it's show and tell. But anyway, maybe we'll do that. We'll go through what's been sent my way. And yeah, I mean, I should have been wearing a Goonies t-shirt really, but the Hobbits, the best band in Middle Earth, just seemed to come out the wardrobe, so that's what I've got on tonight. Anyway, let's jump into maybe showing a few things. The first thing is that we have not only a very small version of Baby Ruth, which is a chocolate bar we don't get here in the UK. I don't know why, but we have something that's relatively similar called Snickers, and that used to be called a marathon bar when I was a kid, but now it's called Snickers and has been called Snickers for quite a long time. So we have that, which I think is a similar thing. But I've also got the proper size version of Baby Ruth, and by the way, if you haven't watched the Goonies, then you should go and watch the movie, then you'll know what this is related to. And I won't give anything away. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. So anyway, we have, I mean, it's not a huge part of the the plot around a chocolate bar, but yeah, you'll find it entertaining if you do watch the movie. So I've got, a couple of those, and what I do like about the Baby Ruths is that they are proper sized, and when I say that, it's 260 calories, which means it's like a proper chocolate bar. Here in the UK, companies and the government are obsessed with making chocolate as small as possible so that they can say only 100 calories. So it means that for this, I mean, you're talking about a third of this size for a normal chocolate bar here in the UK. So it's literally one mouthful and that's all you get. And you feel like, well, I've got to have 2 chocolate bars or maybe 3 chocolate bars because it's just not enough. But it's just crazy the way things are going in this country with things that, just actually on a Snickers, it says Snickers on the packet, but the E and the R and the S, if you squash it down to where the chocolate is, there's nothing filling that part of the packet. So it looks more like Snick. If you were actually to push it down to the chocolate that you get inside. So again, just one mouthful. But the good thing is that I'll be having this with a cup of tea tomorrow, a Baby Ruth, and it's a proper size, which is great news. So let's have a look into the live chat room. I just saw somebody go through there. Julie said, do you know the story behind the name of Baby Ruth for your candy? And we don't have Baby Ruth here, so no, I don't know the story behind that. I don't even know the story behind Mars and Snickers. So chocolate bars that we do get here that I am a big fan of, but more probably Snickers than Mars. But I've said in the live streams before that my treat, whenever we went shopping, which was once a week, my treat was a Mars bar that I was allowed for that one particular day when we went to the shops. So that's the highlight of my week, being allowed a Mars bar and a whole Mars bar to myself. So that was amazing and made the shopping trip very exciting in my eyes, because I'd know at the end I could actually get a Mars bar. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to just eat it straight away, but it was great to be allowed that. Anyway, let's. Oh, Donna Leah says, "I love Baby Ruth bars. Do you have payday bars too?" Baby Ruth. Did that say without the chocolate? It then disappeared. But no, we don't get payday chocolate bars either. What I noticed when I went over to the USA, and this is many, many, many years ago because we went as a family to Disney World, but I do remember that you had, I say you, I know that a lot of people in the live chat room are from the USA, so I'll direct this at those people, but you had so many different flavours of just the most basic thing, like chewing gum or bubble gum. Here in the UK, we have chewing gum that's like mint flavour, and I mean, that's pretty much it. But you might get one, if it's really outlandish, maybe a strawberry flavour bubble gum or something. We don't really get many options of flavours. But over in the USA, you just had different, about 20 flavours for chewing gum. And maybe even more than that. So as a kid, going there and seeing all these different sweets and, or candies, as you call it. Yeah, we call them sweets here, but it's just an amazing choice, the likes of which I'd never seen in my life. So yeah, so many different flavours of lots of different things, not even just candy, but different drinks. And like we have this thing called slush puppy here, which is like ice we get maybe raspberry and strawberry, but yeah, going over to the USA, you had like a million different flavours. Which is great. Unfortunately, I had to come back to the UK and then got stuck with just the single or double flavours, the two options that we get. So anyway, let's get into the live stream. I've just been blabbering on about this, but I will get through a few more things that have been sent. And first of all, I need to get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. Huge shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen, and starting from there, going across throughout the whole live stream, as they always do on a Tuesday and a Saturday. You know who you are. If you want to get involved yourselves, head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And we have a likes goal for tonight, as always, and that is set at 340. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated. If we do get to 340 likes, then we will have a Phil Jam, and it's number 36 tonight. Not that that means anything, because they're all just random tracks. So number 36, whatever that is going to be, we'll have a go at a little bit later on if we hit 340. So yes, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. And I can see on the likeometer, which we'll get on screen, but as always, it likes to go walkabout at the beginning of the live streams. Let me move that across so we can actually see what it says. And it says 184 likes at the moment, so closing in on 200. And I can see that there are 220 people watching at the moment, so that means, oh, this is a bit, 31 people haven't hit the thumbs up yet. So if you're part of that population, then hitting the thumbs up would be much appreciated and will help us get closer to 340. That is quite a large total for tonight, but we will see where we end up. And it's 16 minutes past 11 here in the UK, and we are just over 200 likes. I just saw that go past, which is great. Now, the other thing, talking about numbers, is the fact that we have now passed 316,000 subscribers. Usually there's some cheering that goes along with this, but I can't hear it, so it seems like my sound has either gone again or the cheering isn't playing. But there might be cheering. If there is, then great. But yeah, 316,000 subscribers, which is another crazy number. That means we've done... Oh, now I can hear the cheering. A bit of a delayed response there from my speakers. But we've got 314, 315, 316 in the last 3 live streams. So what's that, like 3,000? I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 in the space of, what, a week and a half. So yeah, things are crazy and just trying to keep up, but we'll keep those people quiet. But yeah, thank you for subscribing and hitting that notification bell, which you'll need to do to get notified for the videos. And In terms of the adverts, I think that's just something that is happening more now because of the amount of traffic on the channel, getting a few more thousand people involved. Obviously, YouTube sees that as a great opportunity to make more money for itself. So that's just the deal. So when things are a little bit, I suppose adverts are a good sign that things are going well. But when you start getting less adverts, maybe it's a bad sign. I don't know. But we'll keep on working through it. Hopefully there aren't too many adverts going off on this live stream. If I do see any about to happen, I do try to cancel them. But sometimes they pop up so quickly and I've got so many screens going on here that I do occasionally miss the ones that pop up with the adverts. But anyway, having said that, we do have the vote for tonight's cover video. That's Behind Blue Eyes and The Boys Are Back in Town. That's the other one. I couldn't remember what it was because I can only ever see the one that is winning, which is Behind Blue Eyes. So I'll be listening to that a little bit later on. Have your vote in that poll for whichever one of those songs you want to hear my cover of. But getting into the donation situation, which I'll always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic. Maybe leave a thumbs up and introduce yourself in that live chat room so that everybody can get to know you. You can get to know everybody. And then we just hang out on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, chill out, see what happens and talk about random things. Which I'm sure we'll do tonight as well. So, I mean, we do talk about music things as well, and maybe bits of analysis videos, that kind of stuff. And obviously we have the Phil Jam if we hit the lights goal, but we do tend to just cover anything and everything, which is the place for that kind of thing. These live streams, the analysis videos, obviously they're very focused on whatever we're looking at. So let's get the donations tab up on screen because you don't have to donate, but I know that some people can't resist. And for those people that can't resist, between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link if that's the way you want to do things in the description below. But those are the percentage splits. And I know that there have been donations already in that super chat window. Thank you for those. Paul donated $2. Thank you, Paul. And the message is awesome. 316,000 subs. Spike those likes. All y'all. Great idea. Hit that thumbs up. We'll get a spike of the likes at 257 at the moment. So we're, well on the way. And let's have a plug of the mug while we are at it. And there it is. I said there it is. And there we have it. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, click on the tray underneath this video or in the link in the description below if you haven't got a tray underneath this video. And that'll take you through to the spring.com store where you can check out the mugs and the hoodies and the t-shirts. And if you get some merchandise and you want to model it, then you can upload your picture to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook if you are a Facebook user, and then we'll take a look at it on the live streams. And we are going to be taking a look at some pictures on this particular live stream in a slightly different way, because usually I upload it to the software, but now I'm going to be grabbing it from my file viewer that I've got on the computer, which is just, I think, maybe a more reliable way of doing it. And if I forget to upload them to the software, I can still do it the other way around, how I'm going to attempt to do it tonight. So that's something that could potentially go massively wrong in the picture corner, but we'll wait till we get there and see what happens. So yeah, if you're getting any merchandise, you want to model it, that is the thing to do if you want to be on the live streams as well. So Stardust Unicorn has donated $7.99 as well. Thank you for that support band to Wings of Pegasus, as I always say. And I'm just seeing Frank's going through saying, I see more ads here than for NFL or NCAA sports because they suck. You rock. So thank you for that, Frank. And yeah, this is it that I think, because we haven't really had, I think over the last couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, things have ramped up with the adverts, but I think it's purely related to the traffic going through the channel. Like I said, maybe 3,000, probably 4,000 or more subscribers in the last couple of weeks and few weeks. So it's certainly been ramped up, or YouTube has ramped up the amount of adverts. And yeah, that's something that they were pushing for a very long time with my channel to even allow adverts, because I never like to have them on there, even though with analysis videos, if you're featuring anybody else's music, which is basically every single analysis video, then the owner of that particular song gets your ad revenue. So it's something that, yeah, I don't make money from the analysis videos because they go to the copyright owners of the songs that we're looking at. But yeah, even with that, I guess with the live streams, it's just something that lasts a lot longer. Like my analysis videos, what, 15 or 20 minutes, but this goes on for about an hour and 15 minutes. So it means that they can really, you know, hit this live stream, make it chock-a-block with adverts. But hopefully there aren't too many. Fingers crossed, it'll be fine. And if I see any, I will cancel them. So Jan has donated 20 Norwegian krona as well and says, cool. So thank you for that, Jan. And that reminds me, there was a donation that happened right at the end of the last live stream. And as you guys know, I do like to reference every single live stream every single live stream that happens. Obviously, I reference those because I'm talking while they're happening. But I like to reference every single donation during the live streams and outside of the live streams. And this one came through from Jody and was for £11.38. So thank you for that, Jody. And that was right at the end of the last live stream. So it was about maybe 6 minutes after we stopped. So thank you for that, Jody. Just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention before I forgot, and as I just remembered for some reason, Jan's donation. So thank you for that, Jan. And David has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, David. And the message is, Phil, it's so much fun to join you and all the wingers for a live chat. Thank you. So thank you, David, for getting involved, and everyone for tuning in and just having a nice chat in the live chat room. That's what it's there for. And we have another donation from Magdalena, who has donated $5. So thank you for that. And the message is, hello, first time here in the live stream. Congrats on reaching 316,000 subscribers, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, and welcome to the live stream. I know that a lot of people do watch on catch up as well, but yeah, if you can make it live, I mean, that is great. So Magdalena, welcome. And I mean, everybody say hello in that live chat room to Magdalena, who's attending her first live stream tonight. Right, we will be jumping back into that PayPal window because we did have another donation in there. And it is Ghislaine who has donated £11.12. So thank you for that, 11.12. And the message is, for you, Phil, with all my heart. So thank you for that, Ghislaine. And Roseanne has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message is, hi, Phil. Have you ever played Malagena or Classical Gas on your guitar? Are these difficult songs for most guitarists to play well? So thank you for that. And I mean, it's an interesting topic, because being able to play something on guitar that is technical, and those are definitely technical pieces, when you've been playing for a very long time, it's just a matter of time, really, just practicing playing it, and it's muscle memory. And I don't think it's really the case that you just won't be able to play something. If you've got enough time to dedicate to it, then you will be able to play that piece, whatever it is, if you spend enough time practicing it. I mean, some people really like working out, lots of different things. I'm not really like that. I've only really done that with, Eruption from Van Halen, but because of my personal taste in music, and then different solos from some of the covers that I've done. But yeah, talking about technical playing, those kinds of things, and the solo from Beat It as well, which is a bit of a technical solo. So yeah, trying to get those things as close as possible, because I like those solos, then I kind of work them out. And yeah, it depends, what you're into. Like, it hasn't really appealed to me, learning to play Malagena or Classical Gas, because artistically I'd rather spend time on other things, because I know that it's just a case of sitting down and getting down the muscle memory, practicing it every day. And this is something that when you're teaching guitar as well, you have to go through all this. And that's why I can play fingerstyle to a certain level. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't teaching guitar. So you have to just sit down and learn the techniques. And once you learn those techniques, then you can teach somebody, actually some quite technical stuff with fingerstyle. But again, it's just repetition, muscle memory. And yeah, I don't think it's something that, I think, I wouldn't be able to play that. Is what it takes in order to play that, and it's whether you want to spend that amount of time, because at the end of it you think, right, I've got, let's say I practice it for 3 or 4 weeks, and I do it every day in order to try and get it down as accurately as I can. And after that 3 or 4 weeks, at the end of that, you can play classical gas, for example. But then you think, but what have I gained from that? For me, artistically, I don't feel that I've gained anything from it, because I would rather keep practicing my singing or, work on other things. For me, learning to play a piece that you can hear and you can figure it out, for me, that is easier than trying to play over something that you've never heard before, because you don't have a guide for that. And this is why we do the fill jams, because I enjoy that challenge of not knowing what I'm going to hear and then try to play something that goes with what I'm hearing. So when you're learning a piece, all the notes have already been written out for you and you can hear them and you can slow it down. So you've already got a roadmap of what you're going to be doing. Whereas when you try and play something that there's no roadmap for, that's where, for me, I like that challenge. And for a lot of other players, they think, well, I'm not going to do that because I need to know what all the notes are first before I play anything. And I guess that's the huge difference to what appeals to you artistically, either playing something that you already know all the notes and it's just a case of working your way through them, then playing a 3 or 4 minute piece where you've just practiced all the notes and the notes are always going to be the same, or playing with something that you're literally having to come up with it as you're thinking. That's something that appeals to me more than just working out lots of different pieces, regardless of how technical they are. I mean, as a guitar teacher, you work out loads of different pieces that really vary in technical ability that's required to play them. And I did have some quite proficient students, some students that were in bands who are technically good players. So then you have to work out something that's technically quite difficult and spend a few days working something out before then obviously tabbing it up and teaching them in a lesson. So but for me, that doesn't really appeal to me very much, just kind of learning a piece and then having that piece and then it's like, but what do you do with that? You think, I could have learned to sing a bit better, and that's just something that artistically I would have spent the time on. So anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. Just to answer the question, I would say that you have to get to a particular level of proficiency at playing in order to take on those kinds of things and, kind of top tier technical pieces. If you're still struggling with like alternate picking or, economy picking or just fretting notes and all that kind of stuff, then it is going to take a very long time to learn that piece because you need to learn the techniques first. Once you've then got the techniques, then you can apply those techniques to lots of different pieces because they overlap, once you kind of have got to a certain level with all of the techniques that you need. So anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. And Nicole has donated £8.15. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. You give shape for the day. Best therapy. Keep making us dream. Thank you for your live stream. We really need it. Kisses and rock. So thank you for that, Nicole. And we've had another donation here from Randy for £10, and that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that, Randy. And Tammy has donated £10. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, what is the most memorable concert experience you've had? So thank you for that. And I think, unfortunately, you only, you remember the worst ones rather than the great ones. And I'm talking from the perspective of playing. And that would have been probably the fireworks gig that I've done the real life story about, because that was horrendous in terms of what I was led to believe it would be and then what it turned out to be. So that's the most memorable, unfortunately. I wish it was something else, but that just tends to be the case, that you remember just how ridiculously awful a gig you can be set up, and how you can be totally led down the garden path about something and it just turns out to be nothing like that. But thank you for that, Tammy. And Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is: do you believe colours can speak as sounds / music? How could you play to represent them? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, this isn't something that I've got where I hear music or sounds and I see colours, but I know that it is a thing that happens with some people where, I don't know what it is in the brain, but it's linked with the vision part of their brain is linked to the kind of I don't know, the hearing aspect, or the sense of hearing is linked with the sense of sight. So when they hear something, they can see different colours. But yeah, as to kind of trying to play different colours, I don't know. The only thing that I would say is how my brain takes in sound is like, if I'm doing some production and I'm EQing a particular sound, for me, when I'm listening and I'm, say for example, I'm listening to a track as a reference to mix it to, I hear things in heights. So like the lower the note is, like the lower it is in my, I don't see it in the vision, but I know it's kind of here. And if I then want to take, say for example, I've got my guitar and it's slightly above, but I want to take a lot of the bottom end out of the sound and make, boost the mids, maybe boost the high end, that guitar will start to move up in my sound. So what I do is, when I'm mixing to a track that I'm referencing, I will effectively hear where all the instruments are. So say for example, I'm listening to a track and in the left channel, I'm not talking about left and right like stereo here, I'm talking about height, up and down. So say that there's a guitar in there that I'm trying to copy, I can tell that the guitar I'm trying to copy is about here. So I have to keep moving my guitar until it gets into that same place. And I'm not sure whether that's something that other people have, but I think it's probably a normal thing. For the more bottom end you take out of a sound, the higher it sits in your ears, or it kind of sits in a different place in 3D space. So yeah, that's something that I know that I've got, that when I'm mixing, I then use that as a guide. So it doesn't come up as any colours though. And yeah, in terms of trying to play colours, I don't know, because somebody's version of red will be maybe somebody's black, and then they'll say, oh no, that sound there, that wasn't black, I see that as red. And they say, oh no, that's black to me. And then this is the other thing that, how do we know that we all see the same colours? Because yellow for me has always been yellow, but somebody might see that as blue. But for them it's always been blue, so that's why for them it's blue, but for me it's yellow. But for both of us it's yellow, it's just that your yellow is blue, but we're different. So yeah, yeah, this is the thing I've always thought about colours, that we only know our own version of them. So when somebody says, oh, that colour there is blue, it'll be whatever shade that I'm seeing, but they might be seeing a different shade, but to them that is blue, and to that it is blue to me as well. So anyway, let's move forward, because I thank you for that, Steve. We've had another donation, and Deborah has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is: hi Phil, congrats on 316,000 subscribers. When teaching guitar, what were the most requested songs students wanted to learn? You're awesome. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And most requested songs, I'd say probably the basic ones, and ones that people want to learn because they're wanting to learn guitar. So they generally look up things like Oasis tunes. I mean, pretty much most Oasis tunes are quite good because they're just basic chords, and Green Day as well. So yeah, those kinds of songs or bands that play relatively straightforward stuff, especially with Green Day, it means that you've got like Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which is pretty much like Wonderwall when you're talking about those same chords that you're going through. So yeah, that's kind of one that overlaps. And with Green Day, it means that you get to play kind of octaves and the fifth shape if you want to as well, like power chords. So yeah, that's a nice introduction to that as well. So yeah, I'd say Smoke on the Water. There you go. There's a riff that anybody can play pretty much in their first lesson ever on guitar. You've got, what else? Six Nation Army, is it? I'm just trying to think of just riffs that people play on the guitar, because I mean that's even easier because it's just literally on your low E string, just kind of running up and down. So yeah, that's pretty simple. So as a first lesson, that kind of thing, that generally as a first lesson they learn chords, and then the second lesson, once they've practiced those chords, then you try and put them together, and that's where you get, you know, things like Wonderwall and Boulevard of Broken Dreams, just moving one chord to the next. But it really depends. I mean, I've had loads of different requests, like, you know, the Smiths, for example. I have had, which is great for me, you know, Van Halen songs, you know, which I quite like working out, Guns N' Roses as well. The only problem with that kind of thing is if the student wants to learn the rhythm, then, you know, that's fine. But if they really want to get into detail about the lead, say, for example, Welcome to the Jungle, that's one that I did, and the kid that I was teaching wanted to learn the whole thing, including all of the solo and the solos. So it meant that, you know, I had to just sit down and tab up every single note that Slash played, and then learn to play it myself, and then show the kid how to do it. And, you know, that's kind of what you've got to do as a teacher. But then when you play guitar yourself, I guess it would be exactly the same thing as me doing a fill jam, and the fill jam being, maybe 5 or 6 minutes long. And then somebody now has to sit down and go through every single note I played and write it down, and then learn to play exactly what I've just played, note for note, and teach someone. You think, yeah, that would be a bit of a pain, but that's what teaching guitar is, that you have to do that, unfortunately. And it's exactly the same thing, that when Slash was in the studio, he wasn't sitting down working out and writing out what he was going to do before he did it. He just effectively jammed it out, and the solos happened to be just what they were. And this is why, you know, when he plays it, he doesn't play exactly the same thing every time. He just plays a slight variation of that thing, because it's just like jamming something out. But yeah, when you've got a kid that wants to learn it note for note and try and get it exactly the same, then yeah, it takes a long time to just sit there, work it all out, and then you have to play it yourself. So yeah, a bit of a drawback of teaching, but it's just, you know, part of the territory. But anyway, thank you for that, Debbie. And Janice has donated £7.59. Thank you for that, Janice. And the message is, Philip, who is Percy Johnson? By the way, the exchange rate between the US dollar and the pound is rubbish. So thank you for that. And I think the exchange rate, I don't know, for the pound to the dollar is worse, because I can remember in that holiday to Disney World many years ago, that it was about 1.5 is what we got to. Was it 1.5? I can't remember. It was something like whatever the dollars were, we would make about, you know, double the amount or something like that. So it meant that the pound was really strong. But now the pound is quite weak, unfortunately. So it's gone down to what would have been maybe 2 or just under 2. I think it was maybe 1.7 or 1.8. So that's how many... What? That's how I'm trying to figure out. Now it's like 1.2 pounds to every dollar, or dollar to every pounds. I'm confused as to which way it works around, but it used to be good when it was 1.8, and now it's bad because it's 1.2. Whatever that means, I have to go to the currency converter and try and figure out what I'm trying to explain here. But basically, yeah, it's like 1 to 1 is bad, but then 1.8 is better, because it means that our money's more powerful. It's like double as powerful as the dollar, but that's no longer happening anymore. So that's just something that's happened, I think, over probably the last 5 or 10 years, maybe. But anyway, thank you for that, Janice. And Chris has donated £11.38. So thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, I really enjoy your analysis of artists from the 30s and 40s. So thank you for that. Yes, we do sometimes go way back. Sometimes we actually see videos from the 30s and 40s, which blows my mind that we're looking at a performance from that many years ago, like almost 100 years ago. But yeah, great to look back at the very origin of music and how it changed into, popular music of the 40s and the 50s and then the 60s, the British invasion, which pretty much ruined everything for most artists that were doing well in the late 50s and early 60s. Yeah, that just totally did a 90-degree turn with the recording industry, but just artists and people's tastes, and really starting to move away from the crooner thing that had really been going on in the 50s, and then jazz before the 50s. So yeah, it's all interesting to take a look back at how things all started and how things all changed. But thank you for this Carl as well, who has donated £5, and the message is, shout out, stay safe and sound, Floridians. Have I said that correctly? A big bad storm heading your way. So thank you for that, Carl. And yeah, weather, again, weather is crazy. We've been quite lucky here in the UK that we've just had random, months of, being the wettest on record, and then a random few days of being, like in 30-degree heat, and then a few days where it'll be a bit colder. So we haven't had like really extreme weather, and we haven't had fires and things like that, which it seems like most of the countries on the equator and around that kind of place have had fires and have had really difficult times. Then you get storms. Yeah, that's the thing about Florida, is going over to Disney World. I remember there's maybe 1 or 2 days where it's a bit stormy, but fortunately not like tornadoes, but just thunder and lightning and that kind of thing. So we just stayed in our little rented villa thing that we had, which was great. So Carl, thank you for that. And Karen has donated £3.79. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 316,000 subscribers from the Mindful Talk game. What is your favourite colour and what does it remind you of? Thanks for your place of great music and positivity. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And I don't know, most of my clothes are black, so that's probably my favourite colour, with white. Like if I ever get a guitar, it's either black, white, or a combination of black and white. So yeah, that's just what I like for some reason. So I would say it's not particularly a colour that it reminds me of anything. I just like black and I like white, so probably equally. The purple that I use for everything on the channel is quite nice as well, but I wouldn't wear a shirt that was that purple colour. For a logo it's fine, but I wouldn't wear a shirt or a suit or trousers that were purple. So thank you for that, Karen. And Christopher has donated £7.59. So thank you for that, Christopher. And the message is, I've gone through your catalogue of videos and noticed you haven't done any on Iron Maiden. Any chance of an analysis of some of their material in the future? So thank you for that, Christopher. And I'm trying to think, because for me, I kind of feel like I have done one, but what sometimes happens, it wouldn't have been recently. What sometimes happens is the videos that I did maybe 2 or 3 years ago are fine when I release them, and then the problem with YouTube is you can sometimes get a copyright block that happens and you're not even aware that it's happened on a video that's happened or that was made 2 or 3 years ago, and it was fine for a period of time, and then it might get removed or get blocked. It's not removed, so I'll have to go through and find it and see what's going on. But yes, if there's something specific that you want me to look at, a particular performance video, then let me know, and I can jump into that. But thank you for that, Christopher. And we are now up to date with the PayPal window, and having said that, it's gone 1:45 to midnight, so that took a little bit of a while to get through, but never mind. I mean, it's great. Thank you guys for the donations. I always say you don't have to donate, but there obviously are a lot of donations, so they are massively appreciated. Thank you guys. You don't have to do that. But just mentioning that there have been other donations in the super chat window, and this is Evan, who has donated in there as well. And Evan has donated $10 and says, have you ever listened to Elliott Smith? Phil, I'd love to see an analysis video on him in the future. I need to move this because I can't read it properly. You're reminding me I need to work on my music. If I don't stop back, have a good night. So thank you for that, Evan. And again, this is something that if you want me to take a look at Elliott, if there's a particular performance or song that you want me to take a look at, just let me know and I can jump into that analysis video in the future at some point. But my request list is quite long, so it might take quite a long time, but I will add it to the list and get there when I get there. I can see that there's been another donation over in the PayPal window, so thank you for this, Kevin. And Kevin has donated £11.38. Thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, thanks, Phil. The Smiths. So, the Smiths, who I mentioned earlier, that I did have one student who was really into the Smiths. So, I mean, that was kind of interesting because from a guitar perspective, it is a little bit different and, tricky to work out everything going on. But thank you for that, Kevin. And if that is a request, again, let me know any performance or any song, and then I can jump into that, add it to the list. So, we are now up to date and... oh, I know what's happened here. Because I moved this to read that comment, it means that we lost the likeometer, which is actually at 378 likes. How did that happen? So we have passed our likes goal for tonight of 340. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you are watching this in the future on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up. Really helps the channel to get out there. And I'm going to catch this. It says we're going to put an advert on your live stream. And I just said, no, you're not. So, yes, if you're watching this in the future, every single thumbs up really does help. And I saw somebody said about the show and tell. It's Corey that said show and tell. Right, let me do this quickly. So, we've got the Baby Ruths, which I will devour over the next few days. We have some coins, and these are kind of like the pirate coins that they have at the end of the movie. So these have been sent through from Jim, by the way, if you didn't see at the beginning of the live stream, from GB Jewelers, and they are based where they filmed The Goonies. And I think I actually have a map of where they are, which is here. So I've got this in the thing as well. It's not the map to buried treasure, unfortunately, but it could be. And it's Warrenton, and I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, if you know the USA, maybe you guys know where that is. So there you go. If you want to check out the well, you can actually go down to GB Jewelers and check out what they've got there. But if you want to check out the shop and say hi to Jim, then you can do. So there we go. And it's Astoria as well. And I think these places that they've got on the map, like Cannon Beach, where they've got the pictures, I'm assuming that's where they filmed, or the coastline where they filmed the scenes for The Goonies. So there we go. We've got that. We've also got this even fancier big coin that's got, and I think this particular coin was in the movie, and I mean not this exact one, but it's like a replica, and it has holes in exactly the same places that it had during the movie. We've got keychain Goonies thing, which I will add to my car keys and other stuff. And take a look at this. Look at that. This is amazing. So this is made out of like bronze or something, because it's very, well, I say very heavy. It's quite weighty. So yeah, you could keep your papers down with it if you wanted to, but it means that I could line up things looking through this, if I could see some kind of mountains in the distance, or if I had to put it over a particular locking mechanism and turn it to get through particular booby traps, then I could do. So, and look at this, we've got on the back, oh, can you read that? 35 years, Goonies, never say die. And at the bottom, you can maybe see, I'm not sure whether you can see, oh, Hang on, I've almost got my eyes. Just putting my eyes through the holes. Anyway, yeah, GB Jewelers at the bottom. That's what I was going to say, that you might be able to see that. Down there, I think I wasn't holding it close enough. But yes, a massive thank you to Jim. We've also got like stickers that I can stick maybe on a guitar case, something like that. That's generally where I tend to put my stickers. So anyway, thank you for that, Jim. It is massively appreciated. And that is the show and tell for tonight. So let's jump into the cover video. We haven't even done that yet. So wow, this is a close one for tonight. It looks like maybe the boys are back in town won rather than Parisian Walkways, and the boys are back in town won with 50 point something percent. So that's about as close as you're going to get behind Blue Eyes. Sadly, 49 point something percent. So we will jump into this. Is my version, of course, of the boys are back in town. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! And there we have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. My version of The Boys Are Back in Town, which just won the vote for tonight. Again, huge thank you to you guys over on Patreon for requesting cover videos and original songs as well for us to start tonight's live stream. Tonight's was called Unwanted Stranger, which is on my album called Persistence. You can get that at wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go directly there. So let's get into Picture Corner for tonight, because we do have a few pictures to take a look at, and this is where I'm now going to attempt to do this in a totally different way than I normally do. So this is probably a massive mistake, but I have to do this with screen capture, which has actually disappeared, which doesn't make my life easier, but let's see if this works. I'm going to get the background up on screen, and then we're going to be jumping into Picture Corner. I can't remember whether this is going to work or not. Let's see. Oh yes, it did. I forgot that I'd programmed in the background to happen when I clicked on the Picture Corner, and I didn't already have to click the background. So anyway, all this programming stuff that I forget that I've done. Right, we are going to be jumping into the first picture, and the good thing about this actually is that I can see the messages on Facebook that Laura has sent to me while looking at the pictures, which is something that's a little bit more difficult for me to do when I have them uploaded to the software. So anyway, let me stop talking and hopefully get this on screen. And it has appeared, amazingly. Right, this has been sent in by Elaine, so thank you, Elaine, for sending this in. And we've got a whole gang of soft toys here, and this is apparently the mug with Elaine's Bear Boys and Friends. So maybe this is a type of toy, and that's boys with a Z, like Boys to Men, I think. Did they have a Z in their name? I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you for sending that one in, Elaine. And I wonder if you can see my arrow on screen as well. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That made it disappear. Let me see if I do it again. Oh yeah, now it's working. So I can point things out. That's something that I can't do on the software normally. Not that you can see the arrow very clearly. Anyway, there we go. Thank you for that, Elaine. And next, we have this that's been sent in by Janice. And can you see my arrow here? Yes, we can. Right, let me take a look at this, because this is obviously Janice with the Phil Toon mug, but this is something that I mentioned actually. These characters look amazingly detailed, by the way. I've only just realised how the faces, you can actually see the details, which is amazing. When I was really far away saving this image earlier, I couldn't see the quality of it. But anyway, this is from Janice, so thank you for getting your hands on the Phil Toon mug. And Janice said it was inspired by my Tiny Tim review, Bert Lahr singing If I Were King of the Forest from The Wizard of Oz. So thank you for that. And moving on, obviously you can see Scarecrow there trying to have a drink of something, but would that mean that it would make his straw go damp? But then I guess it's less of a fire hazard, so it would have saved him, actually, at the end from catching on fire. Anyway, thank you, Karen, as well, who has sent this one in, and Karen's been busy with picture making. And here you can see it says, Phil is all smiles for Chipper's message. Art not auto-tune over here, and then we get some mugs down here as well. Mug hiding over here, Roddy Heck, I need a guffing drink. So thank you for this, Karen, and I think Chipper here does have a hoodie on, Wings of Pegasus hoodie, so thank you, Chipper, for purchasing that one. And no, they are not made in animal sizes for any animals, but thank you, Karen, for making that. And we have Pam here, which is the last picture of Picture Corner, but this has a message with it. It's because Pam said, after I found Phil's channel several weeks ago, I was inspired to learn guitar. A friend helped me select a Martin acoustic electric guitar. It's a whole new world for me to learn guitar. Played only piano as a child, and I love it. Got a pic with my Wings Pegasus shirt on. Donna Summer in Northern California, overlooking Donna Lake, down the road from my mountain house. So thank you for uploading that one, Pam and Laura. Thank you for uploading all of the pictures and linking me to them. And by the way, guys, if you want to upload any pictures of yourself with any merchandise and all that kind of stuff, head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on the Facebook page that you can type in. That's just a group that you can join in with, so check that out if you get a chance. Now, because we went on for quite a long time there, I wonder if I get rid of this. That's worked, but then if I get rid of this, are we back to me? I think we are. So I'm going to have to remember the order to do things, because I did that, not that you're going to be able to tell, I did things in a different order. Hopefully it looked pretty similar to what normally happens, but I was doing that in a different order, so things were being clicked on in different orders. How many times can I say that? Right, we are at 415 likes, so that is amazing. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up if you're just joining in with the live stream now and you're jumping in. For the end of it, we've got maybe 10 minutes left of the live stream. Let's have a look over to Phil Jam number 37, by the way, which Cindy didn't remind me, but told me it was in the live chat room. If it had been a reminder, it means I would have known it was that to begin with, but I didn't. So it's number 37 we're going to be doing tonight, and I think there was something mentioned about a message from Joe, but this is probably in a different feed. All I've got is Joe's messages where I get this from. So whatever the message is that Joe has sent me about this track, we're just going to have to work through it and see what happens. I wonder if he's warning me that it's going to be a bit of a random one. But number 37, which is there, and is 5 minutes and 42 minutes in length, which means we have a little bit of time here to do something else. So what, a Phil Jam or a riff of the week? So let me know, Phil Jam? I mean, a riff of the week or a Phil tune? It's because everyone puts Phil in front of the Phil Jam or the Jam and the Phil tunes that, yeah, we're definitely going to have a Phil Jam, but we're going to have it after whatever we do next, which is going to be either a riff of the week or a Phil tune. So let's see what we have. Okay, right. Jenny Allison to say a riff. So we're going to jump into a riff. And in order to do that, again, I've made a rod for my own back here because I have to go into my emails inbox, get the riff of the week list, and that is loaded, which is good. Right, give me some numbers between 1 and 100, please, for tonight's riff of the week. And I can then compare it to the list and we can see which one we are going to have. So, yeah, any number. I mean, we've had quite a lot of these. But we'll see if we get lucky with any numbers that are in the gaps. Right, Blind Sniper says 82. And we haven't had number 82. I think on the last live stream we went through about 20 numbers that we'd already had, but here hit the bullseye straight away, 82. So, right, and Steve just says Andy Murray just won in straight sets at the Open, and this was something I was hoping to watch later on without knowing the result. So thanks for that, Steve, because yeah, I know that the US Open is on and I can't watch much of it, so I did record, or at least, hopefully recorded to watch later on that. But now I know the result, so it means I can get on with doing something else. Would have liked to have watched that. So thanks for that, Steve. And right, number 82. We are going to be jumping into that. Let's see, riff of the week. Week 82. And this is something that I did with the Women's World Cup. Because I am always doing stuff that I can't watch it live, I was recording all of England's matches and then tried to watch it the next day, or at least later on in the day, trying to avoid the result. And as you can imagine, because we made it to the final, avoiding the result was really difficult. So I just avoided watching TV or going on any kind of social media things other than me checking my messages and doing all that kind of stuff. And thankfully, I did manage to avoid, I think, all of their results. So it means that I could then watch the match, and generally I'd just kind of fast forward the boring bits when it's kind of 0-0 for a long time, and then if somebody scored, then I'd rewind it and watch the goal and then maybe watch it. But I did watch the whole final for the women and had that kind of on in the background, but I didn't know the result, which is great because it means that, yeah, it's like watching it live. So anyway, number 82, Riff of the Week. We're going to jump into this, and I need to get the screen capture for this set up because I've got it on the pictures that we just did. So let's take that back, and I'm hoping that if I make this the right size, it should fit on the screen. Now, I couldn't hear that video start, so I might not be able to hear this, so I don't know what the riff's going to be. I have to look at my hands and try and figure it out that way. But let's get the background on screen and then the screen capture, and look at that. It's all wonky. Right, so how am I going to move this around? I'm not sure. I've got to move it a little bit so that I can actually see my hands and what's going on. Right, there we go. I found it. Let's move it into the middle a little bit, about there. And here we go. So we're looking for the first guess of this particular riff. Give me the name of the song that it comes from. Let's have a listen. And let me unmute it and have a listen, see what happens. And there we have it. So, oh no, hang on, we're about to watch the Bee Gees walk out of an interview. Right, so there we had that, and let me get this off the screen so we come back to me. And I'm going to have to probably work my way up through the list in order to see. I'm not sure what's going on here. But, okay, we are looking down the list. And Rainbow from Billy, of course. Let me have a little look through. Yeah, Rainbow again. Janice says Percy Johnson. So, I'm not sure. Mary says Iron Man. And Cindy says Deep Purple, and I think Cindy's along the right lines here. So let me wait for it to go through. And it definitely wasn't Iron Man. And Paul says Rick Nelson with Rainbow. So thank you for that, Paul. It isn't quite there. And maybe Frank is, or maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe it is Judas Priest. Now this is the thing, that because I'm not actually being able to hear it very, very quietly, so I'm not sure. And Cindy said Deep Purple. That's what, I mean, even though it's quiet, that's what it sounded Deep Purple to me. But, and this might be something that I'm going to have to double check. Dwayne says Space Truck in Deep Purple. So we're going to have to, and then John says Judas Priest. I'll tell you what, let me have a little look down to see if somebody actually Cut Runs Deep, Deep Purple was Jim Smith, who I think Deep Purple, I mean, that's what I thought initially. So yeah, anyway, it seems like everybody's confused about this particular riff. So we will find out when people watch this on catch up. And that's the good thing about watching things in the future, is that they can then maybe put a comment underneath the video to see if it was indeed Deep Purple, as I thought it was initially. But Karen says Breaking the Law. It didn't sound like Breaking the Law to me. It just like I did, or at least it looked like my strumming pattern was a little bit different. So yeah, I don't think it was that. Right, so yeah, for people watching in the future, then you can let us know. But yeah, I'm going to maybe keep with, I mean, Cut Runs Deep, maybe. Deep Purple, but I'm going to have to listen to it properly when I can hear it outside of the live stream. Because obviously, whenever I listen to anything on the live stream, it has to be quiet. Otherwise, it'll feed back with this microphone that I've got, which is obviously in line of all the speakers. So, we will see. And 123 Rockchild says, Phil may have stumped us. So, I'll check back in the future to see if anybody comments about this in the catch-up crew on my app later on. So anyway, we will jump into now the Phil Jam, because that's something that we are going to be doing. Number 37. Have I clicked on the right one? Okay, that's going to be an advert, so I'll let that play through, but I can skip it, which is good. Right, skip that. Oh wow, this one looks interesting. I've just had a quick look at the screen, and I'll tell you the channel and what it is. But it looks like there are a hell of a lot of chords here. Let me actually, because I've got this Goonie stuff everywhere, it's all in the way, so I need to move it all out of the way so I can get myself organised to actually grab my guitar. This is going to be an interesting one because there's about, it looks like 1 million chords. Oh, skip ads. It's trying to put an ad on. Let me skip that. Oh, by the way, Beth just donated $50. Oh, Karen donated before that, so thank you for that, Karen. $5 and said, hi, Phil, from Mindful Talk. What is something that always makes you laugh? Rock on, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And something that always makes me laugh, I don't know, probably The Office, the comedy show. But the UK one, and I haven't seen a lot of the US one, but I've seen the outtakes actually from the US Office, and I like watching outtakes as things that make me laugh quite a lot as well, just like the blooper reel from different movies. So thank you for that, Karen, and yeah, Beth donated $50. Thank you for that, Beth. And the message is, hello Phil and Wingers, I'm so happy for you and your channel. I'm glad I made it for a bit. I'll be coming around now and then. Glad to see you. So thank you for that, Beth. And right, let me see. Okay, guitar is on. We don't have wah wah tonight. It's only 5 minutes, well, just under 6 minutes, 5 minutes and 42 seconds. So that is fine. Whoop, chair up like that. Right, as for the levels, who knows? And hopefully I can hear this backing track because it's a little bit, or at least that riff of the week was a bit quiet. Right, let's click on that. Click. Oh, this is Fly Me to the Moon Jazz / Swing Feel backing track. It doesn't even say the key. And it is from Guitar Improvisation. That is the channel that this comes from. So we don't really have a key. And there's a list of chords. It looks like there's loads of chords, but my screen's a little bit small to see what's going on. So let's have a listen to this and see what happens. might end at some point. Is it getting quieter? Yes, it is. Oh, it's one of these fadey outy ones. So there we go. We couldn't do an ending for that, unfortunately. But yeah, there we go. I tell you what, let me actually get this. Let me just see what I was playing over there. Ooh, I can't even make it. Dragging out isn't making it any bigger. Right, let's try. A minus 7. D minor, is that a D minor 7th? I can't see, it's too small. G7, C, C7, F. B, is that a B natural E 7th, A minor, A 7th, D minor 7, G7, C7, A 7th. So, yes, in turn, might be, what, B diminished. It's a little bit difficult to see because I can't drag it out to make it big enough, because then it'll obliterate all my other screens. But anyway, whatever that was, that's what it was. So there we have it. That was Phil Jam for tonight, number 37. And was it number 37? Yes, it was number 37. So I'm sure that Joe probably messaged me to say, warning, there's going to be a lot of chord changes in tonight's Phil Jam. But we pretty much hopefully got away with it. So, I, as you could probably tell, I wasn't playing lots of subconscious muscle memory stuff, because you literally just have to sing along note by note, especially when you don't know where the chords are going in the background. But interesting one. I don't really play jazz, but we just see what happens, and we did see what happened. Right, we are going to be jumping into another video tomorrow night, as always, which is Wednesday night. Friday night we have a video, Sunday night we have a video, and we live stream on Tuesdays and Saturdays. For those of you that might be just tuning in for the first time, if it is your first time, hello, thank you for watching tonight's live stream. And yeah, thank you guys for all of the donations, even though I say that you don't have to donate. But I just want to make sure that I did get up to date with everything donation wise, because I know that some people do donate right at the end of the live stream, because we are going to be calling it to a close now. So yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. Yeah, look out for that video tomorrow night. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!